Welcome back to Any Given Monday on a Sunday night. Freddie, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. How you going after the loss?
Yeah, I hate losing.
Yeah.
And then Manly got dusted too in the last 5 minutes. I was real happy at the fucking RSL club having dinner. Yeah.
Nothing new with that with Manly.
I was a real, sorry, Bronco man. You're going good.
Yeah, we're going
so
pretty sweet.
I noticed on our Facebook page you put up a tribute to people who have helped shape your life.
Yeah.
And you made special mention of Mark Offerdale. Would you care to expand on that?
Well, I definitely write those posts, and it's definitely not you, so I can't really... I can expand. The only thing is, it definitely his nosebleeds are from overuse of cocaine. But
you also said that he was a person who helped shape you as the human being you are, and you wouldn't achieve the heights of life that you have if it wasn't for Source.
Well, yeah, he was. So Source was my connection to the ability to put on weight because of all the connections he had with peptides and steroids and all that. And just his training regimes, which was mainly...
And he's living in New York now, what, Trump Tower?
Yeah, he's gone over to New York to open a gym in this climate. Great decision.
I doubt they'd have a lot of gyms in the US, so good on you. Excellent business move by Source.
But talking about yesterday, one thing was highlighted is just that, probably a great person, like, she's helping her club out, but that stupid fucking cunt that was telling us not to run on the field as trainers and shit.
Oh, well, that got hard work. With COVID, every different field you go to, some people are letter of the law with it. This lady said, one trainer at a time, unless you score tries. And there was another person from the club contradicting it, saying something else. And I turned around and said, well, what is it? You seem to be contradicting each other. What do you mean? Well, you're telling me one thing, that lady's telling me the other. What's the rule? Well, if you want to be like that, you can take that trainer shirt off and go sit down the other side. I said, I don't mind if I do. It's okay. Just tell me the rules.
Get those saggy titties out, bitch.
You're good with people like that.
Do you want to intro?
All right, we got two very special guests this week. This is big. The great Liam McDonald, Lmac, and Tommy Butterfield, former East greats, former Sunny Coast greats, current West Brisbane Panthers reunited with the godfather of Q Cup, Mr. Craig Ingebrigtsen. How are we, boys?
Yeah, good. A little bit rattled, but yeah, it's pretty good today, to be honest. Yeah,
it's good to be here.
Don't worry, we set the bar low here. Nice.
Yeah, they were talking about that episode about when I got on the Zannies.
Which one? It's regularly with you.
Yeah, I know. So I said, whatever it's going to be better than fucking some of the episodes.
I thought I'd have a bit of a listen. Like I listened to a couple episodes and I got towards the end there, and you said you popped a couple, and then towards the end it was like,
yeah. and then I think afterwards I did the sponsor reads after, and I put them at the start, and some people are like, "Fuck, man, you must have done them like right before you went to bed or some shit."
Bro. It was pretty wild, actually. It was good to listen to.
Yeah.
On the Hank Jones page on Facebook that my mate does. So he put up, does anybody listen to Any Given Monday? And one bloke goes, yeah, Freddie sounds like he'd be a great bloke to go out in the piss with.
Well, I think we got two of the champs here tonight to go out on the piss with, yeah.
Oh, nice.
We had a few beverages last night, Tommy, didn't we? We ripped in a bit.
Yeah, to be honest, it was just supposed to be a couple of wines, and Lmac started organising, telling people to come over. Look, because I've just got a newborn as well. So I've told him from the start, look, it's just a couple of quiet ones. My missus won't like it if we invite people over because, you've got to be quiet when you've got a little one. And Lmac started inviting people over, but thankfully it was just the two of us and, another bloke come over, Jared McCallum, and the couple of wines turned into, a 6:30 a.m. finish, and then we had to go to my son's footy game at 9 o'clock this morning, actually. So
that was.
It's been a big day.
But Butters, your little one's fresh as, isn't it?
Yeah. 7 years old, so it's full on games. You just turn up and you're right, and then 8 weeks old. The other one. So it was a full on morning.
Where was the footy at this morning?
No, just down at Redcliffe. So God's country.
Yeah, mingle into the crowd.
We luckily we knew a few boys there, so I kept the glasses on.
The sunnies.
Glasses on. One closed answers. And that's how we got through.
I only lasted about half an hour. Like I just couldn't stay there. I had to get an Uber back to his place.
Really? He's good. He's good because the last time we got together and had a few wines. I think we bought 14 bottles. Had a few boys over, But in the end, it was just me and him drinking, and we had quite a big night, quite an eventful night actually.
Always good fun on the red wine.
I was talking about this. I think with Scrape. I was talking to Scrape earlier before, and I was telling him you're coming over tonight. And I remember in Colts, because we only played Colts together, and then went our different paths. But in Colts, you weren't the loose guy in the team. It was like you were very like even more of a quiet person of our side. And then a couple of years later, when I hear the boys are playing with Lmac, and I'm like, oh, he's a fucking legend, and they're like, oh, he's the loosest mother. And I'm like, are we talking about the same guy?
They're all allegations.
Was there like
all allegations.
was there something that switched it, or?
I just found out I really enjoy drinking beer, and I turned into a bit of a weapon on it. No, I don't know. When I was younger, like obviously. Coming into Colts, I was still at school, and like obviously a lot of the Colts boys were like 18, 19.
Yeah.
So I was sort of like the younger fella there, and coming in, I just sort of just looking around. I think, was it Hills District?
Yeah. So it was the changeover from Hills District. I think you came to Hills District.
Yeah, I was at Hills.
You played. So you played Colts 2 years younger than you should have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So and then I played with you that middle year when it went to West.
Yeah. Okay.
And then your brother was down there too, wasn't he?
Yeah, the big NMAC. Yeah, he was down there. So I mean, obviously a bit younger and that coming through, and you're just not. You just wasn't really sure with the older boys how they're going to react and all this stuff. But then obviously as I got a little bit older and started finding my feet and doing these things, and people started laughing, I thought, oh, hang on a second, I'm pretty good at this. So no, it's it's been a good journey, that's for sure.
I think there's like in all my career, there's two blokes that they'd always turn up for Mad Monday. One was Mickey Roberts at Redcliffe, and Lmac was always up there with him. They're two of the top blokes when you want to go to Mad Monday. They're the two guys you want to go with.
I have never had a bad time with Mickey Roberts.
If I had a dollar,
Really?
I had a dollar for every time we used to see him at the Normanby, when you could not go to the Normanby, and I'd say same dudes would always sort of be all scattered around the same place, and go, fuck, he loves the pranks, this cunt.
He's a bit of a weapon on the sauce. He came up to the coast there for a year actually, and he did a bit of assistant work with us, and he was a lot of fun. He was real good for the younger fellas too.
And good to have around the club.
Oh man, because he's a legend at Redcliffe, and he's played a lot of games, and he's got a lot to offer. So, no, he was really good up there for us. So
because he's having a run to Albany Creek this year in ones, and I was explaining to blokes who he was, and I said, mate, he's played a couple of 100 cup games, and he probably played or maybe almost a dozen games for the Broncos. So he's had a fair footballing pedigree. And they go, really? I'm going, yeah, he goes good.
Is Albany Creek in our?
No,
grade,
they're playing ones in art. So in that team, they've got Justin Hodges, they've got Sam Thaiday and Mickey Roberts, and they're still getting beaten.
Are they really?
That's stacked.
Yeah.
Holy!
So you remember Beej, Brendan Telford?
Yeah.
So he's captain in that side.
And what's the centre? Benny Dimmel?
Dimmel didn't play when we played him.
No,
but I think
he's been playing.
now.
Yeah,
Benny Dimmel.
Yeah, I remember Benny Dimmel.
Yeah. So I thought they'd be real good, but it's just like there's a big drop between their good players and the rest, and those retired boys coming out of it. I think if everyone's not having a go, they think, well, there's no point in us really having a go if we're getting dusted here.
Well, someone went and watched him this week and said that Thiday's just chilling out in the centres.
Yeah, he was they're just running a lot of block shapes off him, someone said the other week. And against Brothers, they got flogged because Brothers have got Michael Purcell, and they got a young, fit side. Yeah. Swifty, who was at West, and things like that. So they just started beating. It was a big day at Brothers, and it ended up 40-0. So they reckon Thaiday, who was it? Hodges got injured 10 minutes in. Then I think they started rattling on tries, and the rest, this will do us. We'll just put the cue in the rack.
Boys, it's in one of our questions someone have asked. It just made me think about it. But with so much Queensland Cup games, so like Liam, you're on 190 something, and you're over the 200s, Butters. When you guys come back and play BRL, is it like cruise control nearly for you? Is it with the speed of the game and stuff? Do you kind of just
because it was my first game last week for West Mitchie. And I wasn't thinking, I didn't have that mentality thinking, this is going to be a walk in the park sort of thing. I remember me first carry, I got whacked, like off the kickoff. Like I just thought, okay, I'm going to roll my sleeve. We played against East Korea, I think it was Bari. And I ran straight at him, and he, like, obviously he's a fair lump for a lad, and he whacked me off the kickoff. And I'm like, well, hang on a second, we're in for a game here. Like, and they've got some pretty good players as well in that Carina side. Like, they had Svensson and a few other East Tigers lads. But, yeah, I think it's not a bad competition. Like, even yesterday playing against, who was it,
Bilimba.
I mean, in patches they were good, but it's never cruise control. So that's the way I look at it.
No,
anyway.
yeah, it's been a really good comp. Obviously with what they try to do this year with a certain amount of, I guess, Q Cup players eligible to play. It's definitely made the comp this year quite intense. I think it's quite intense. The intensity, the speed, obviously not so much, but the physicality is still there. I guess that's the main thing. The physicality is still there. It's still a tough game. You go in, any game, even at this level with the same mentality, you want to win, and we've all, doesn't matter how good you are, because everyone's got to be on the same level for you to perform. So it doesn't matter if you've come down for NRL. You've still, the guys have got to perform around you for you to be an NRL player, if you know what I mean. So
100%.
The mentality is always come down, play well. The guys, everyone else in our team's pretty experienced. They play just as well, and hopefully that's going to get us to where we need to be. But it's getting close to the back end of the year, and it was great to get Lmac down to play with us. That was a big thing. For him to come down and play with us, knowing that we've spent quite a lot of games together. So it's looking forward to coming back and getting some footy game, especially with him and a few of the other boys back end of the year. So
has Triggs got any other people he's bringing back? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if when Manly season finish he gets Cherry just to keep him fit for Origin or something. Because if anybody could, it's
We actually had another lad come down from Sunny Coast, Sam Burns.
Yeah. Did he get players, a coach of the order, players player or something?
Last year he got as in
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, when you first played.
He got players player. Like his first touch of the ball, he came on the field because he couldn't make the captain's run on the Friday night, so Trigger started him off the bench and first touch of the ball, just hands up, eyes up, looked up, and he threw a mad cutout pass, and we went over and we scored. So he's one of those young players where I feel like if he had a full season this year in Cup, I reckon he would have got a bit of a deal or something going on at the end of the year, like a bit of a training trial somewhere, or even something with Melbourne. Like he's just a good player. He got our players player at the Falcons last year, but I'm a huge fan of like Sam Burns, and he's been he's a pretty big player for us for West, I think. Just he's just really fast in the middle, and he plays some good footy, and he's a really good player. So he was another good one for us to get as well. So
look at Molo. Molo would probably would have been playing for the Cutters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he would have got some games up there.
Where was he yesterday?
I don't know. I just didn't see his name.
I think he was injured.
Oh, okay.
He's injured, so.
No, he played pretty good the week before as well on the edge and that. But I mean, it's just it's not a bad comp, the BRL comp. It's good to play as well. I got a phone call from Butters. Yeah. So he was just like, "Oh, Mac, what are you doing?" And I hadn't done anything since like March. Yeah. Like obviously, once the whole season got canned from COVID and that, I hadn't done much training at all. And he just sent me a text. He said, "Oh, what are you thinking? Would you be able to come down and play for us?" And I was like, "Yeah, geez, that'd be all right. Like have a run around." I hadn't played at West for a few years. Then Trigger got on the phone and that was it, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was basically it.
Yeah, and then I come down, he's not even playing.
And so, Butters, this happened 2 weeks ago, or?
Yeah, two weeks ago versus Normby. So I think I got 2 more weeks. I got a small fracture in the fibula. So.
Was it a crusher?
No, look, those, I guess those, I can't think of the name now. There's this type of ankle injury you get. Syndesmosis.
Yeah.
So someone fell on my ankle, but, it felt quite fine. And, a few days later, went to physio and, next minute I'm in the boot. I've got a small fracture in the leg, but a couple of weeks' time and I'll be back running, which is I'm looking forward to running back out with him. That's a big thing for me, and getting some game time with him.
It's hard to believe 3 weeks all over, until the finals. Like it's only been a 10-week season, but then I saw someone in one of the Sydney comps in that President's Cup they're playing down there. Maitland won, and they've secured minor premiership already, and I was thinking, fuck, he's only got 3 games left. Yeah, they must be that far in front.
Yeah, well, this time of year we're normally playing finals already, isn't it?
All shit from Mad Monday, like on Facey comes up. Memories
memories from Facebook. We see grand final wins and stuff.
Yeah, coming through. I think it's great, because obviously the BRL, like even last year, we've had 6 or 7 teams. Like I think the shorter comp works for when you've got small number of teams, like it's easy. You turn up, you play. You've got this amount of games, 10 games. Now you're in final. So I actually really enjoyed this style.
Yeah.
Specifically when you've got 8 teams.
Yeah.
You can't play it. You know,
What was last
four
year?
four times is 5 times.
You played everyone 3 times or something
Oh,
last year. Then if you got to the finals, it could have been 4 or 5, and that just getting fucking overkill.
Yeah, then you got random buys in the year, and you're starting late. Like it's a weird comp, but I really like this year. I think this is probably the way to go moving forward. Like a shorter comp. I think that's how some group competitions down in New South Wales were pretty short season. I really enjoyed it.
It keeps people interested longer. Like long season, like look at all the boys that started coming back, like Lmac did. Like after a few weeks, think, oh fuck, only 6 weeks. Yeah, okay, I can do that. Where at the beginning they were dead set. Nah, I'll be no good.
I think our team was almost in that BRL comp that we were talking about getting a Sunshine Coast team into it.
Yeah, they were at the start.
And then I think we just pulled it. It was just going to be too hard or something. So, but I think a few of our players from this year have gone to different clubs as well. I think we got Jackie Ainsworth's gone to Wynnum, I think, and I think Jai Ballinger and a few other lads have gone to Pine Rivers. Is that the
Jai's there.
Yeah, so I
playing
mean,
BRL there, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's good to see a few of the other, good quality like cup players.
How's
getting around
Jai
as well.
playing up there? Like, because he came back from France too, didn't he?
Yeah, Jai's he's a special man.
I remember
if you know Jai Ballinger, you know what I'm talking about. But
I played with him as well.
He does some real freakish things on the field, like sometimes, like.
But then he does some real fucking stupid things.
Real fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But I mean,
You definitely talk about freakish stuff from him. And I remember, you go back to a Q Cup semi-final there, and I remember we're in front. We're playing Sunny Coast, obviously big game versus East 2017. Yeah. We're in front, sort of set up a few games, and Jai's into me, and I've looked at Jai. I go, Jai, you are the worst player on this field by far. I looked at him in the scrum. That's what I said to him. A couple minutes to go, come out second half. He scores 3 tries. He blitzed us, and I've just gone, oh Jesus, that's the curse. But
one of the best games
when he puts it on, he's pretty hard to stop when he really puts it on.
I was there that day, and I almost beat you. And next week he's absolutely schooled ready up there.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I didn't play in that most of that final series because I think our first game was against South, and I did my MCL in that first round of final, so I didn't play. And that's the year we made the GF, so I didn't really play the rest of the games there. But yeah, we played some pretty good footy going in that GF, and obviously we didn't really finish off the year the way we should have because PNG got through in the end. Didn't it? Far out.
Yeah. What a vibe that was. When you just jumped out to 10-0 and it was quiet, silent.
We started the game really fast and we got out to a lead. Like, we're going to put a score on here because I was obviously watching it. But then it just got into like just a real battle in the middle and then they just fought their way back.
It's funny that like Stimson were doing some damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerome Hughes playing.
Hughes a fullback,
He's had a cracking side.
Yeah.
Brandon Smith played too.
Yeah, 9.
Had a ripping side. And it just was like one more try breaks their spirit. And they never found it. Then they jagged one and the whole stadium was going off.
Oh, mate. There was a lot of PNG supporters there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
That was Caxton Street was massive that day and night from what I remember leaving. I remember going to the paddo and it was just, we got there early, then it just started people filing in and going, fuck, this is going to be big.
That was when PNG, they celebrated for like a week and a half, went down and got spanked by them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that national comp, like, for me, like, to win a competition in the Queensland Cup, that's the biggest thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I got to that stage and we won that, I'd be sending it too, like. And that's all, I wouldn't be worried about the next week.
Remember when Burley beat Redcliffe? And they just sort of, they were asking Jamal Fogarty, and he was kind of, it hadn't been around for that long, but we've been concentrating on winning the Q Cup was their big thing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, you're just on the piss all week. And then they
100%.
got towed up, and I was thinking, they didn't want to be there. It was like where Ipswich got a bit serious, and they beat them. But then there's been plenty of sides that have gone and got smacked.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what you said. You play all year to win the Queensland Cup. It's not the the national comp. That's great, but I think that's why if you win it, you're going to celebrate for that whole week.
Yeah, I
can't see why you would stop for one day and start start to lean towards next week and prepare for the week because no chance.
It's because you've been playing in a competition that you know all the teams, you know all the boys, and you're beating them, and the high of that, and we know how good the Queensland Cup is, and obviously the New South Wales Cup is pretty much on par, but it's you got no connection to beating them. You know, like you go down, they combine it, but the emotion's way better.
You're riding for days, and then all right, well we've got to train Thursday, and we're flying down Saturday morning. And you go, oh fuck, I didn't know about that.
And if you win the comp, you're still on the piss on Thursday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Far out, you're going all week. We've lost a few, haven't we?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Look, we haven't had the chance to actually celebrate. Well, you've won one. So
I was young though.
Yeah, but still, that's a win. You know, I lost 4. So
what was it? 2013, we lost to Mackay.
Yeah, we should have won that year.
Oh yeah, that was that
we should have won that year.
How good was the Mackay side?
They had good Michael
Morgan in the centres.
Tom Malolo.
Yeah, he played.
Anthony Mitchell.
That Milne was on the wing who'd played NRL at the Raiders. Mitchell was man of the match.
Yeah.
And your winger dropped the ball about 5 times, so that really didn't help the cause.
Yeah.
Who was that winger?
We look back at that. That was Maley. We look back at that, and then that was the biggest. I guess the biggest moment was, there was one drop ball he made, and Michael Morgan picks it up and runs length of field, and I think that that changes the game, and that was it. I thought we were home and hosed. 20 minutes to go. We were in front and. Hold the ball, we win, but funny things happen in this game.
And then we got walloped the next year.
Yeah, then we got
pride. They put 40 on us.
And you had beaten
we had
them
a stack side.
And you beat them. Did you beat them 2 weeks before?
Yeah, I think I think that curse for us. We seemed to come the first team in, and then then the team that we'd beat come back and do us.
Was that Cantoni's side?
The big punch on.
Oh
no, Cantoni won it earlier.
Because he's old as fuck.
Cantoni won it 2000.
Jeff Holcomb was in and out of Cup that year.
Yeah.
They won it in Fog. Another loose guy. You would have liked drinking with him.
Yeah,
Holcomb. I've been on the drink a few times with
Holcomb and his brother there. Well, they're normally.
So, Butters, you're yet to win one.
I'm yet to win one, so I've lost quite a few.
And which year did you win, Liam?
It was back with South Logan when I first started, so 2008.
Oh yeah, that's on the board there at Davey, and they parked that photo.
Yeah.
That was
a pretty mad side.
That was a good time. That was a really good time. Like, that was my first real year in Cup. Like, I made my debut in 2007 with South because I was playing at West, and I think True got me a start down there at South Logan. Me and Reedy went down. And
who was coaching?
Costo.
Costo
was there, yeah. And then the next year we had Paul Bramley was there, and we had a pretty good affiliation with Canberra and that, and we had a lot of good players. But the good thing about that side was we only had one player from Canberra playing for us in that grand final side. I think it was Silas Cock. No.
Yeah, the front rower.
Yeah, I think it was CY. So, but yeah, it was all the rest of them were lads from South Logan. So it was a pretty good time actually. Really good time.
And Ipswich were red hot favourites. Had smoked everyone all year.
Yeah, 100%. They had some good players, and that's when Donnie Malone was killing it too that year.
And they come back from 18-0 down, Ippy, and then the boys scored. Like, missed a field goal, then the boys scored.
Yeah, Kyle Lodge. Yeah. Kyle Lodge went over in the towards the end there. But
is he running around in Illawarra now?
I think he's still playing footy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I follow him on Insta and that. Like, you would have known him from Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
So I think he's still running around.
He was playing New South Wales Cup at Manly a bit there when when the year they won it, he was in the squad in the top 30.
Yeah, he was good.
He was coming up. But is there a point where you're like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, look, when you've lost 4, you just get to a point like, look,
you just
maybe it's not for me.
You can consolidate everyone about how to feel.
But same time, you're just like, maybe I have to have one more year. I got to try to win one.
Have you thought about your own preparation with the grand finals, Tommy?
No.
But you boys,
I reckon as I got older, I reckon I'd be better because I'd have a red wine, a couple of red glasses of red wine. It'd be really prepped up. But it hasn't been. I haven't had any luck because before that too, we lost the under 20s NYC GF to Raiders as well. So I'd consider five grand.
Did you score the try to get him in?
Yeah, the semi before, yeah.
And
So
was
against
that
the Warriors.
you were in the Bronx?
yeah, and then we lost that final. So I think it started there, and it's just it hasn't stopped turning.
And Kimmy Ingebrigtsen refers to his old man as Brian Smith because he can't win a grand final.
I think he won it. He won one with West.
Yeah, he won.
He,
He
he won. He won the Colts.
The Colts.
And Faults and A grade.
That was your
yeah.
side too, wasn't it?
No, because I was playing South.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
a lot of the players that I played with
Yeah,
before.
that was like Cherry Evans.
That was a
shit.
stack side.
Yeah.
Stack side.
Yeah, no.
They didn't win it with Jerry. He'd already gone to
He,
Manly.
No,
was
They
a
won
he was
it.
a he was a Manly in 08.
I remember there's a big,
Matty Gillette.
yeah, no, that's a big
Yeah,
thing because
July.
he was playing Bronx with us, and then something happened, and
Yeah.
he decided to go back and play West for a few games
Yeah.
and end up in the
Okay.
comp
Yeah.
there. So there's something
Yeah.
going on there.
Because remember Gillette, and then after that he went back to fucking Bribey.
Yeah,
And then
because
had that
they
couple
they
seasons.
assholed him.
Yeah, they
And then
assholed him. And then he
apparently, his old man said to him, "Matt, don't do this.
Yeah.
They'll asshole you."
Yeah.
And then Triggs keyed him up at North.
and then
and
North's couple
he
games at
played
North and then
residence.
back in.
Yeah, he played residence.
He played really good. There.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
and then they
2010 or
realised
something.
this guy's too good to fucking not sign.
Yeah. Fuck man. But
I think he was playing 5'8" at North.
Yeah, he was.
Really?
Yeah, he was. He was running around the 5'8".
Yeah, so he was that good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
so yeah, we got like I said, because there's a few questions because we got actual two decent guests. With
Good work, my friend.
one of them with Butters. It's towards Butters about Lmac, but it says like about hearing some stories about like what are the best ones about him on a Mad
look-
Monday.
Oh, well, there's quite a few, but look, I'll give you
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
give you one
sure.
before Mad Monday. Like one of the best things about Lmac in a game is one thing he loves is he loves the towel, dry his hands,
Oh, I love the
and then he loves the spray. So we've played one game and must have been half time, and we've had a chat, and we're going, oh, where's Lmac? Because we're about run on and we're talking. We're like, right, what's going on here? So I think one of the boys goes back. I think it might have been myself. I go back looking for Lmac. He's in the toilet, obviously, and he sprayed that much sticky stuff on his hands that when he's gone to the toilet and he's obviously done number 2, the toilet paper stuck to his hand, and he didn't realise how sticky that was. So he's sitting there and he's trying to get this toilet paper off his hand after he's
Are you
wiped it
taking
off.
the piss?
That's
'Cause
one
I
of the
can't
greats.
remember
That was one of the greats at East. That's one of the greats. But yeah, obviously Lmac when it comes to drinking, he's like no other. Like he is one of the best blokes to get on the drink with, and there's so many stories about Mad Monday. I'm sure he may want to share some, but there's one where he's dressed up as he may lead on with this, but one he was dressed up as Batman, and he loves to get nude, and he's running around. He's done whatever he needs to do, and he's throwing whatever he needs to do around. And
What are you saying?
You're just
what
one
is
of the
that?
legends.
You're saying this, you're saying that. What happened?
you
I
just
don't
got to
know.
lead on. Try to lead you on here.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. I think it was. So yeah, we all got a little dress up on Mad Monday, and I remember it was real like at East. It's a good place to get on the piss for a Mad Monday. You got the whole stadium, you got the dressing sheds there, you got the field, all that sort of
And
stuff.
everything's shut down for you boys.
But the thing was, that Mad Monday, old mate tried to come out on the field and start mowing the lawn. Like we're all getting on the piss, and he starts bringing the tractor out and starts trying to mow the lawn. So obviously, you got your Batman suit on, and you got no bottoms on. You're chasing after this bloke, and he's cracking the shits. But I think
I remember the year before I come there. One of the great stories about Lmac was Mad Monday, and he brought his ute round, and then just I guess from that point just started to smash the ute about. Started to smash the ute about on Mad Monday. Smashed his own car up on Mad Monday. Started jumping on it, on the bonnet, on the windscreen.
I remember going to pick that car up. I think it was I think Thorpe took me in to pick my car. He goes, mate, your car's not in a good way here. And I said, really? What happened? He said, mate, you just trashed it. And I got there, and there was all these empty beer bottles in the back and beer and cans and all that sort of stuff. The windscreen was smashed. Looks like the whole roof of the roof was all caved in. So yeah, no, it wasn't one of my finest moments. But
We I think the first time, well, obviously first year went to East. It was a great pre-season, and just starting to get along with Mac and learn a thing or two about him. But our first game, it might have been our first game of the year. My first game for East was away up at Mackay, and we got a good win up there. We end up, as you go, when you go away, you just get on the piss. You have a big night. So we got on Terps down at whatever the Mackay bar is, just got wild, drank till, you basically get ready to jump on the plane and whatever.
Yeah.
So this first game, we obviously got ready. We had a big night. We were plastered, whatever. Got down to the airport and the flight got delayed. So, me and him just looking at each other. Another bloke named Mickey Thomas, and we're just like, what are we doing here? And we're like, all right, we might as well just get on the Terp. So, it proceeded in the next 2 hours or 3 hours just to start sinking VBs, and then we got on the rums, and
it was a good time.
it wasn't a good sight because then I had my car at the airport, and I had to get back to Redcliffe as well, and unfortunately I had my parents up there to watch the first game, but absolutely plastered at the airport, then plastered at on this plane ride home, and
was that the weekend where Desi Morris had to pick me up off the footpath?
No, that's another one. That was another one.
I think Mackay's
one of your great stories.
Was never good to me. I think I got home. I can't even remember getting home, but I remember.
Your job was to look after Lodgy that night too.
Yeah, Matty Lodge. He was my responsibility. I had to look after him, and I was the biggest piss wrecker here. But lucky he wasn't drinking. But no, I remember. I remember just getting home, and I remember sitting down at the front of the hotel because it was just on this grass area. And obviously, I must have passed out, and I had my phone and my wallet all spread out all over the ground. And because Desi used to get up early, obviously he wasn't getting on the piss, and he'd go and exercise and go for a walk. And when he had to pick me up off the footpath, brothers, Desi Morris, he come out, he's our CEO, and it's not a good look when your players passed out in front of the hotel, just with all the wallet and phone everywhere. But poor old Desi. Well, a good story actually from that 08 season, because I was a younger fella, and the players were all about the 25, 26 mark. So obviously younger fella, and when you're on the beers with the older fellas, you're obviously trying to impress them. You're trying to layer up a little bit and carry on all that sort of stuff. And I remember, I think it was Brad Cross and Dan. Who was the other fronty? Daniel Joyce. Yeah. So what they've gone in, so at Davies Park, you get the bar downstairs and that. So they've gone and filled up, I think it was about 4 or 5 schooners. And one of the schooners, they've both pissed in the schooner. Yeah. About half full, they've filled up with some piss, right? Then they filled the rest up with beer. And they've come out like this with this big tray of beers. Yeah, we got the beers, boys, everyone jump in, grab a beer. So obviously it's a lucky dip whoever got the fucking piss. So me being the younger fella, I've just gone straight over, picked up this fucking glass, and sure enough, I've picked up the piss glass, and I've just started sculling it in front of the boys, and they knew, and everyone just starts laughing. I've looked at them and going, this is fucking piss. Anyway, spewed everywhere instantly after that, and they're all, layering up, and they're into me and that. And I remember we had a huge barbecue just before that, and I've spewed up all these sausages and a bit of steak and that. Anyway, obviously trying to layer up me a young fella, and because I didn't want them to have one over me, I just started picking up all this food I just spewed up, and I just started eating it straight in front of them, put it all back in, and they're all getting sick. Oh man, that was a wild time. It was a wild Mad Monday actually.
Man, the year before I played in France, Esky went the year before.
Oh yeah.
And so I was going into there, and they were questioning me. They're like, "Look, you got to behave yourself. The crew we had last year was out of control, and that it was that kind of shit. It was like bubbling, but also doing fountains to each other on dance floors, and then spewing and then picking it up. One of my mates who was actually playing for Lesignan, he would do the schooner in the urinal thing, and where everyone's pissing in it all night. Then he comes and pisses into it, and then picks it up out of the urinal and sculls it.
Yeah, right.
He says his science was that he pissed so hard into that cup that his went down to the bottom and then pushed everyone else up. But then after that, he then proceeds to eat a urinal cake.
There's something wrong with us. Like, there's something seriously wrong with us.
You've tasted a urinal cake.
Well, that's the thing, but I saw somebody do it first, and that's where I got the idea from. I think it was Kevy Stevenson. Remember Kevy Stevenson from East?
Yeah.
I remember it was his go-to. He used to pick the cakes up and just start chomping down on them. I thought to myself, fucking hell, like, these cakes have been there for the majority of the year. Who knows what the boys have got, Anyway, he starts chewing, and then I just thought, that looks like fun, I might fucking try that out too. And, you get a few laughs at those types of things. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you just keep doing it.
We got, also I've got a note here that says, stories about PNG trip, and also shed and the bottle top. Butters will know what's talking about.
Oh, geez, the shed. The shed.
Oh,
Look,
the shed in
Yeah,
PNG.
look, PNG, our first trip there, I think we were one of the first teams to beat PNG in PNG. And, you know, that first trip was just immense. Like, we obviously went there, you know, you put on in a resort right on the water overlooking the volcano. Like, it's
in
beautiful.
Kokopo, was it?
In
Was it?
Kokopo, yeah.
Kokopo, yeah.
Our first, I think, was that? Yeah. So we gone there. We've beaten them for the first time. We've gone out to the shed, and you know, while at the shed, you know, when you play footy in Papua New Guinea,
That's the older stadium, yeah.
yeah, this is over on
The island.
East New Britain. So it's
Yeah.
so we used to fly to Moresby, then we'd fly again
Okay.
out at this time while they were fixing up old Lloyd Robson Oval. So we end up winning there, you know, in front of 10,000 players. You've played there, but PNG,
fucking
it's
awesome.
amazing. I love it. And
Good experience.
then we proceeded to go out to the shed. You know, we got a few boys, Jeff and all that. I remember getting on the beetle nut too. So I got them on the beetle nut. You know, some of the boys are spewing up because with beetle nut too, it's not so much the side effect. It depends on the nut. So whatever nut you get,
Jeff Holcomb swallowed his.
will depend on what outcome you get. So you know,
Okay.
you could chew one, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
Some of the boys chew one, they're sweating. Literally straight away, you start sweating bullets and you're vomiting your guts
And
out.
is it like more of a more extreme carver experience?
Yeah,
or
you
is
get
it-
a.
I
You
didn't
get
get
a.
anything from it.
No, you
I
get
didn't
some.
get anything from
Yeah,
it.
depending on that, you get some sort of. You get a numb sensation. You get a
Yeah.
high sort of feeling,
Yeah.
depending on the nut as well. And you know, in PNG, it's almost like it's an addiction because of that chewing. The chewing thing. So people are addicted. Like, I know my family, some of my aunties, they love that feeling. So
Yeah.
you know, and they'll intensify that by taking tobacco as well. So they
yeah,
put
that's
tobacco and beetle nut and you know lime, which is the worst thing because that's the crushed coral which can cause cancer. So the white stuff's the bad stuff. You know, that falls in your eyes and you go blind and things like that. But that's the bad stuff. But we went out to this
You
club.
tell us this now?
yeah,
After you're getting around with this white stuff and you put it in everyone's mouth? Oh, this is the bad stuff, actually.
This is bad stuff.
Oh,
People
right.
think it's
Kidding.
other stuff, but you know that lime is some toxic stuff. Just pretty good. But we went out to this club. We had a pretty good night.
Tell me how we got there.
I can't remember.
Don't you remember how we got there?
No.
Oh, we ended up getting in the back of these utes. So basically, there was a couple of people there, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll take you down." So we've just piled in the back of these utes, and like we're all sitting in the back, you know, drinking beers, and we're fanging down this dirt road, like bouncing, you know, and they're going about 80k an hour. I'm thinking, where the fuck are we going? And we've gotten to this shed place, and literally, mate,
So
it's
you want to use the shed.
it's barbed wire around like this big like industrial like sort of big garage shed there, and there's people with guns there. I'm like, is this the right spot? It looked like prison. That's what it looked like. It looked like a prison cell.
Yeah.
But and we got there, and then I can't remember, was there any stories from that?
No,
or-
we preached to get loose. So I think one of the young blokes came up. So a few boys left, and we started drinking up top with the heavies up there. And one of the boys got pretty loose on the rum, you know, the rums, and started trying to talk up some of the local girls.
Yeah.
And you know, then he's being pretty inappropriate with some of the words he was saying. And you
Who
know,
was
he's got
that?
to
Who
a
was
point.
that?
I don't know how to say his name. We got to a point. It got to a point. I was like, oh, geez, you know, you got to get him out of here. You got to get him out of here. And yeah, it was pretty wild, but good time. Like I think the next year we went there, and a few of the boys here, they're like, oh, we need to go out. So the shed was closed. We played on Sunday. So, all right, boys, we'll go out. We'll go get some beers and then we'll figure it out. End up going back to the Hunters,
Oh, that was a good time. To where they stayed, a
Hunters
little-
Resort, and
a
just
little commune there. and we
yeah,
went down
proceeded to
there.
get plastered. Like we were just sinking piss upon piss, and you know, it was getting to a point. There was five of us. It was getting to a point like it was already close enough to when we had to be home and everything else. And they're just you know, they're telling us, no, it's all good. We're gonna call. We know the pilot, so don't worry about it. We're gonna call the pilot and tell him delay the plane because we're still drinking, and then
Really?
we'll take you straight to the plane. We're like,
Yeah.
oh no, look, this is a bit too much.
Yeah.
You know, Trig, sorry, we'll run. We're running late, and like. You see a few of us stumbling in. Luckily, it's, you know, you got good teammates that have packed your bags. And
I had a good
It
time.
was
there.
one of
I
the-
had a good time there that night, but I remember that vividly. I remember this. So remember that little short fella was getting around?
Yeah, yeah.
Little midget sort of guy?
yeah,
I was out there and like obviously selling
Andre,
the beers.
Andre.
Yeah, that's right. And I was spewing up. and I was like leaning up against this palm tree, and this little short guy comes around. He started grabbing me on the nuts. And I was like, "What's going on here?" And he's like, he just had a big laugh. He just walked off. He come over as I was spewing, grabbed me on the nuts, had a laugh, and he walked off.
Should have been like, at least finish me off.
I was like, what's doing, buddy? Like, what was the other one you had on your notepad there?
So I got more notepads. The PNG, the shed, the bottle. I've got stuff that actually people have like sent in through our Facebook posts. With Any Given Monday, we've got a mate, Ollie, who he writes and he does for rugby league, in my opinion. But we kind of touched on it before. Just the biggest difference between BRL and Q Cup, and you reckon it's the speed?
Definitely speed. Yeah, definitely the speed. Obviously, speed's the main thing. A little bit more physical, obviously with the Q Cup, because you're training 3 times a week, and you including your gym and your conditioning as well. Obviously, it's a big change when you're just going from Queensland Cup to BRL. You don't have that full proper structure to it.
Yeah,
and I think that's the sort of difference and why it's a lot quicker and a lot more physical than what the
and plus
Q
we're
Cup is.
getting older.
Yeah, and
that's
probably
why it's
getting older as well.
Yeah. Robert Bergen.
Oh yeah, the great man.
Yeah, the great man.
Bergs.
So Bergs, he just wants to know
Selling books everywhere.
Fucking oh.
What's he got for me?
He just wants to know Lmac's top 5 tunes in the gym at the moment.
Top 5 tunes, far out. I'm a big fan of what's that? Pump It Up, don't you know? Pump It Up. So we've got this big speaker that we bring out, and our coach at the moment, Sam and Winnie, we get this big speaker out and we just play tunes sometimes just in warm up, like just passing the ball around, and just makes it a bit light. But I don't really know music. Top 5 tunes. Well, that was obviously number 1.
Pump it up.
Pump it up, because it gets you going. No, I'll let the young fellas. Pick the music. They love listening to their rap music and that sort of stuff.
There's nothing worse than you're the connection to the Bluetooth speaker. I fucking hate it.
It's a lot of pressure, mate.
Yeah,
It's a lot of pressure.
You
Because
get
you pick one. Yeah, you
different groups.
You pick a bad song. You've lost the career.
I'm like, me and Scrape happy to put on like Limp Bizkit's best fucking tunes.
Yeah, that goes down well in the sheds,
everyone fucking hates it. And then the other boys now, because even Opens, mate, it's turning in like, what's our average age, Righty? I reckon 23 to 26 average age in Open ones now.
Yeah, right.
So they're all young kids, mate. And they're fucking chucking on the mumble rap and shit like that. And it's like every other word's the N word. I'm like, how the fuck do I sing to this? Without getting my ass fucking fed to me.
Some strange.
Yeah.
Some strange choice.
We're all black at heart, to be honest.
Except for him, he's one of those gun nuts. Like, he's fucking 5 minutes off the fucking KKK. Trump supporter over here.
Trump supporter. That Trump supporter.
He'll be handing you out free stickers later if you can't bump the stickers.
I think you project that, cunt, because you're an actual Trump supporter.
He's one of the gun nuts he's telling me about when every time he goes over there, they're shooting at shit. And I'm going, this is kind of disturbing.
I did.
A good Freddie story. On the piss he told us once. I'd prefer to shoot a human being than an animal. I'd get a better sensation out of that.
Well, I just think
that's not weird in any way.
Not at all.
Well, I just think a human
Strange
being.
thing to say.
Well, a human being, like if you know a person's personality and shit, I'd definitely easily kill a human before I kill like. Just say
an animal.
I've shot kangaroos and shit before, obviously, like we all have, but
you're justifying this quite well.
Yeah,
mate.
but like if I know that this guy's an arsehole, I'd rather kill him.
You didn't clarify that when we're all pissed though. You were just talking about shooting people. And that went down real well at the pub, and everyone, yeah, right. What do we say here, cunt? Fucking, okay.
Catch you later.
Yeah. We're moving on anytime soon.
Yeah, I got a bit Americanized, got a bit stressed out when COVID first hit. I went and got reloaded with another fucking lever action, so sitting behind here, but so in case that shit goes down.
It's been a great podcast.
What's that show on 7, mate? Doomsday
Preppers.
Yeah, Doomsday Preppers. I can picture you one of them. Yeah. And they put in that much detail and everything they do planned out. I'm going, how do you have time for anything else? Pick out areas to relocate to if drama starts. You up for that? Have you prepared?
No, I'm not that full on, mate. I just want to kill a human. But with DJ with the boys, so he just wants to know with Trigger, is he giving the cash in green Woolworths bags after the game for you? Or
How this started?
Yeah.
I made the joke.
I don't play rugby league for
I
money.
made the joke last week
the
that
fun of
Trig
it.
gets paid in green Woolies bags, money under the table. He hasn't messaged me about this yet, but he probably will tomorrow when he reads. And he quickly replied to that straight away.
yeah, so Triggs goes, like it's David Ellis. Goes, no, mate, when you become friends with people in this game, they will help you with a shout out. And then David Ellis goes on about talking about threes. And that's,
Yeah.
But,
Oh, good old Dave. No, Dave too. He's
Yeah,
a big
he's
East
yeah,
side
one of the
supporter
boys
too.
were always there.
Yeah, one of the East side supporters.
I
Good
think
fella.
I think Jason Stanty asked, would you boys ever return to East?
Oh yeah, look.
I don't think that'll
Look,
be back, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting older. I think, maybe, but I think, look, yeah, I think my time was done there, and I enjoyed my time there thoroughly. I met some of the best blokes, met some best mates that I'll keep in touch forever. But I think
It was-
where I'm at.
It was
now, I'm
good
pretty
going
happy.
back there on the weekend, actually, and just after the game, going to Lee's Club and seeing those people. Like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that you used to, either they used to strap your ankles, or just in the Lee's Club, or just catching up with people that were there when you were there. And it's I don't think I could go back to play there because I don't think they'd have me
Yeah, fair enough.
Me neither. Actually, they probably wouldn't have me either.
after that little incident in the Lee's Club that time.
That was a good
little
yeah,
6 week ban.
that was a good time. That was a good time.
I just remember like when I did that preseason there in 14.
Oh,
and
yeah?
after 13, and 14 did the preseason, and it was like after training, like Triggs would have his spiel, Fish would have his spiel, and then like Lmac, you got anything? And it was like he was just gospel, man. Like and that was like from I'd only played from like since Colts, I hadn't played since, and it was just like God at that East. And
it was a good time.
Yeah,
It's good when you're
it
on
is
top.
always
It's good when you're on top.
Yeah, when you're feeling comfortable and you can walk in and just say what you want.
It was always a good time. The Mondays, it was always story time. But now I feel like there's no more story time, on Mondays and that, because the kids they don't go out and have a crack anymore.
Yeah.
And also,
They're all about
Or
recovery.
they don't, or they're too embarrassed to say their stories. Like
Yeah.
it's
There used to be like the sort of thing like I remember back at South, we used to do a thing called like the horseshoe, right? And obviously, I was living in a share house at a time with a few bloke, Rezzy Phillips, and a few other players. And we'd always, on the weekends we'd get together, and we'd get on the piss, and we'd always do something stupid. And you'd stand in front of the group and you'd tell stories and all that sort of stuff. But I feel like that sort of stuff doesn't really happen all that much anymore, Because kids these days, they're just getting on the protein shakes after games, and going to the recovery room and making sure they're stretching up. And it's not the way it used to be.
Yeah, that's a hard thing. I think you don't get the chance to. A lot of people all players don't go back and have a beer after a game.
That's
Or,
it.
beer,
I don't
1,
understand
2 beers,
that.
3 beers, and you're
Look,
plastered.
that's how you build a bit of
time.
Look
camaraderie,
at Mitchie. Like, not everybody comes upstairs, be it West playing there or being Mitchie. Sometimes it's hard. You go, boys, you coming upstairs? No, I got to go. It's fucking 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
It should be a
Come for a few
compulsory thing,
hours,
having a
boys.
few beers after the game, and
Yeah.
that's how you get a little bit closer and you build something there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always a big fan of it. So
Oh, 100%. Like, I just think, like, the stories, but, like, especially being a good mate with Offerdale and stuff, and the amount of, like, I shit myself on that couch last night story, or I pissed myself on that couch, It's, I don't get it from the young
don't,
boys.
Tommy, don't.
So you
don't.
got
Don't.
you cannot tell this one, Mac. Look.
Oh, look,
So we'll go back to the red wine story. So look, I got Lmac over, and we had some red wine. Like, we had a good time. And
Is this last night, or?
No,
this was at the start of the year.
This was at the start of the year. So we had a great time. Like, we bought about 14 bowls of red wine, and we love our red wine. Shout out to me mate
drinking
Jamie
like
Ray.
fucking grapefruit
Yeah,
juice.
we're a red wine connoisseur. So we're just in this red wine, and next minute we've just got, like, the boys are left, and it's me and him, and I'm trying to take him out, and he's just got proper loose. Like, this wine has hit him heavy. He's gone outside. I'm trying to pull him in. I'm trying to clean up. He's knocked things over. He's gone from full kit. Then he's in his shorts. I'm like, oh, yeah, fair enough. Then he's passed out in my son's bed. Then he's back up. He's nude now and he's dancing. then he's passed out again. I was like, all right, I'll put him to bed. So I put him to bed. I went to sleep myself. So I'll deal with it in the morning. So I get up the next morning and I walk out. You walk out Chuck Pierce and get a drink of water. And I'm looking at my son's room. I'm going, why is my son's mattress on its side, and why is Lmac on the floor, and what is
fucking damn, mate.
what is the hole in the fibro wall as well? And I've gone, look, I just can't deal with it now. I've got a raging hangover from this red wine. I've got to go back to sleep. And in that time, obviously, my missus has turned up too. she's walked in and looked at the room and gone and just shook her head, come out in my room, woke me up, goes, what's going on with the mattress there? And it's, what's that smell coming out there? So Lmac's woke, I was like, we'll leave it. So I've closed the door, and Lmac's wandered out for brekkie. He's going, look, I sincerely apologise.
You wouldn't believe it, Buzz. It happened again.
I've pissed the bed. And look, my son was 6. He's 6 at the time. Never pissed the bed.
Yeah.
So Lmac first bloke, and when red wine, when it comes out in urine, it absolutely reeks. I was out there, Lmac's got a bad hangover, so I was out there. I'm trying to clean it, and this stench is it's wreathing through my house. I go downstairs and I find all the rest of the towels that he's tried to sweep up the piss with.
I was looking for a mop, mate. It was a bloody...
Man, fuck. I remember one time me and Sauce were living in the same house over in Connecticut, playing for the Wildcats, and Sauce, we won the comm. Yeah, it's not a hard thing to do. And we went out, and Sauce, he gets real depression, like hangovers. So what he does is, we had 2 different rooms, but he'll sleep in my bed. So when he wakes up, there's someone near him, so he's not by himself. But what he did is he'll spoon you too. So he's a big spooner. So I'm obviously little spoon, that motherfucker, and then he's big spoon. And during the night, I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So he's got this raging boner.
You're kidding.
And he's pissing himself, and it's going all up my back.
That's
right?
fucking weird, bro.
That's real weird. So he's pissing all up my back. I didn't tell him. I still haven't told him this, but before he did that, I'd already pissed the bed. So what happens? So the bed's loaded, soaked, probably 10 kilos heavier. Oh, and then I wait, and I'm just like, Sauce, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And everyone dumped on Sauce for it. And I just got out of bed.
I remember one of the boys told me, I think I must have been at East at the time. He's like, obviously had a big night, him and his missus. And they've come home and, they've had a big night and they've both gone to sleep. And he's woke up and he's like, oh, fuck. He's realised he's pissed the bed. He's like, I'm not going to say nothing here. Yeah. So he's gone up, cleaned himself up, and he's gone and lied down on the couch, and he's gone back to sleep. And he wakes up the next morning. He said, he sees his missus out washing the sheets, and he's gone, what's going on? You're all right? He's like, yeah, it's all good. I'm just cleaning the sheets up. So she's thought she's actually pissed the bed. So she started cleaning the sheets to make sure that he hasn't found out that what's going on there. I was like, that's gold.
Man, there's that.
But it's normal. Yeah. It's normal. One of my mates said it's just normal. He pissed the bed in 2 nights in a row. So yeah,
fucking mistakes happen, mate.
Mate. There's that one. Me and Saul was talking about it a bit. There was that one time where I remember I first pissed the bed, like on the piss, and then from that it kind of like breaking the seal. It was like, and then it just
opens the floodgates.
How often did you used to spoon? You've overlooked this part.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well,
that's more weird. Do we have to go back to that?
Well, Sauce is a real weird dude with especially with the wanting to wake up with people around him. That's one of his big things. He was big on telling me that he was going to go masturbate. So I'd be watching TV with him late at night in my bed, that bedroom. He's like, all right, mate, I'm going to go hit the bed. I'll jack off beforehand and then go to sleep. And I'm like, Sauce, you can just say go to bed, cunt. I don't need to know you're jacking off. Because now I'm watching TV thinking about you fucking on Pornhub next door, just fucking going nuts at it. So
beat it like it owes him money.
Yeah, 100%. And he would do it every night.
I played skirmish with Sauce's brother the other week.
Michael.
Yeah.
He's a big lump of a thing, isn't he?
He's a big lump, and he is funny, man.
Funnier than Sauce.
Talking about Trump supporters, man.
He's a funny motherfucker.
Yeah, he's
Isn't he
hilarious.
big on the Sauce is big on the conspiracy theories, or is that his brother?
No, it's his brother. Sauce
Oh
always
yeah.
baits him.
Okay, yeah, they bait each other in trying to have these debates, and Sauce loves to. He's got a lot of ideas about what the ecosystem and all this sort of shit. So they were when I caught up with them when they played World Nines, we ended up going to some fucking. Where'd we go? What's that pub? Western Suburbs pub. It was a tiny little thing.
Oh, it was whatever was open that night, wasn't it?
And I don't know, they would wind and Sauce up, getting in those debates just to watch him blow up and trying to counteract him with logic.
Yeah.
Well, that's your opinion, isn't it? And he's getting a bit filled. He was that loose. He offended the dude. There was a dude from the US embassy.
The Colorado state embassy guy was there coming out to wish us well for the comp.
Of course, yeah.
And he came out drinking with us, and he was alleged. But Sauce, he's had his issues in the past with racism, hasn't he? But
I don't think he catches up with our mate too often.
But anyway, we're standing there. There's a bunch of white guys in the photo, and Sauce goes, "Oi, get one of the athletic guys in here." And then, the Colorado guy just lost it. He goes, "Why you say athletic?" He's like, because they're more athletic than us. And he was fucking nearly jumped out of the photo because of it.
And that's very minor for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Castle Hill Tav we were at, and this wasn't
That's
a flash joint, near impossible to get thrown out of. And the lad from the embassy left because he found it he was a bit dodgy. He didn't want to be around anything that could be construed as politically incorrect.
100%. They're so fucking on there, walking on ice at the moment over there, like with everything shit like that. Nate Gladden for American Rugby League podcast, Butters, he wants to know who is the best PNG player that you've played with or watched?
Look, I'll probably be biased. I think, I grew up, my hero when I was playing, and then when I first came to Redcliffe was Tommy O'Reilly. So I would always say Tommy O'Reilly was he's one of the best players I've ever seen.
I still bump into him out in the piss. Hates a drink.
He's obviously his nephew plays at West now too.
Trey. He played with us the other week.
He did, eh?
Yeah, he was a rampaging beast out wide.
He was always a guy I looked up. Obviously, but Marcus Bai and Adrian Lamb. I think coming from PNG, I think the 2000 World Cup was a huge thing for us, and for someone from a small, from a bloke from PNG watching footy was that 2000 World Cup, and I remember vividly that whole World Cup right through to the time they lost the quarterfinal, I think, to Wales that year. But for us that was amazing for a young fella from PNG. Just watching that, that's just like, wow, this is what you want to do. And my I guess my lifetime goal was never to play NRL. It was to play for Papua New Guinea. That was my goal. I've always wanted to do that, and the chance to do that was my ultimate. That's me. I've done what I wanted to do. So, but I think Adrian Lamb, Tommy O'Reilly, and Marcus Bai, obviously the three key guys there.
You got to play with Lamb's young fella, Lockie.
Yeah, Lockie. Yeah, really good fella. Good player, obviously, and we've seen that now when he's playing with the Roosters there as well.
Freddie marked him in that World Cup. He's dusted him, and he scored 2 on debut. Yeah. And
he was one of probably 30 to score that day.
He wanted to swap jerseys, and he looks over and goes, "He's on view. He's not going to fucking swap me."
Yeah, well, that's what I've already told him that. He played well that game, but
good player.
I thought, a lot of people would have played well in that game.
You loved it too, the experience, playing PNG. Mate, it's amazing.
It's unbelievable. I tell the boys, I walked off in my undies. You give it all away. You give it all away. And it doesn't matter what's happening out on the field for either team. If we, like Corey Maitland made one of our few breaks, he makes a break, the crowd goes nuts. They just love the footy action. It was fucking sweet. It was like playing in a hot pool. The humidity, unbelievable. But it was just, it was awesome.
And I think that's a big thing. People will look at PNG, it's pretty wild. Yeah. When it comes to rugby league, you whoever plays that game, whether it's you guys, whoever it is, everyone's looked as gods. You're never going to get in trouble. You could walk around the street, and as long as they know you play, they'd just be they'd be in awe of you. And I think that's the big thing is the passion. passion.
Fucking oath.
I love rugby. Like it's in our blood over there. We grew up just worshiping it, watching it, and it's something that's it's great to see where they are now.
Any patch of dirt, they're fucking playing it on. You know, when you're driving through the streets.
Yeah, I grew up playing. I learnt to play the game just on the street. Like we played. I remember my uncles and everyone in the street. Every afternoon they'd turn up and we'd play. We'd start to play touch and then get a bit rough on the street. But that's how we learnt to play. You know.
Yeah.
And that's rugby league. Like that's all you see. And you'd see that now. If you go to Moresby, like any dirt patch, as you said, you're playing tackle. Like you'd see a ground with gravel on it, and more often than not, there's posts on it. That's a game for a proper footy game. Like we take for advantage how good the facilities are here, but when you go there and you have to get prepped before the new stadium, before you get prepped at the hotel, then you're turning up and you're playing and everything else. Like it's a once in a lifetime sort of thing for people to get the chance to, and you lived it like it's a great thing playing rugby league there.
And it's crazy, man. Like because we stayed in the new hotel that right on Moresby. It's like that. It's just across the road from the training fields and I think the older stadium. But there's some of the kids that meet you at the bus when you drive out of the bus. They come up to the window and they're like, sir, tickets, all right? And so we get an amount of tickets. So there's a couple we can actually give to those kids. And he's like, oh, your boots on game day. And I go, mate, if I see you in the crowd, 100% I'll give you the boots. It would have been the first fucking kid I saw.
The kid,
he's down the front and he's like, yes, see. So I give him my boots. I was spewing because they were like the 400, like the high end pair.
Good stuff.
But anyway, but what they say is sometimes it's not best to give it to the kids because then they get them taken off from
by a bigger person. By a bigger person.
Even at the airport when you get there, they're asking for your boots. I was like, hang on a second, I've got to play footy, mate. I don't bring 2 pairs of boots to the game, to PNG. But
I remember, one year there we Guy Hamilton, obviously he's been on the podcast and he's like, he's brought some gear. Butters can take me out and drop it off. So we're in this gated facility. I said, yeah, mate, righto. So I took him out. I go, just walk over there, take a shirt off. And I knew what was going to happen. So I was like, I'll walk with him. And as soon as he started taking things off, I just started running back with everyone else. And the whole, they'd see this whole bus stop started running, people running down the street, started swarming. He ended up just throwing his stuff and started running, spraying me for leaving him back there.
Like we went down to like the fish markets on the water, and in about 5 minutes you're walking through, then you turn around and it's just a people following you because you're wearing like polos or like your team, and it's and we're like, oh fuck, maybe we should get the fuck out of here like before it gets a bit too overwhelming.
Guy Hamilton, I listened to that podcast actually.
Yeah, he's
he was good. Yeah, he told some good stories.
He did tell some good stories, but there wasn't much fact behind him, I think.
We called him this morning too, 6 a.m.
We did call him, and he did answer.
Yeah.
So that was good of him. But I don't think I turned up on a kid's bicycle to the. he reckons that I almost missed the bus one morning. I never miss the bus, mate. It doesn't matter how long you go out for at night or. I'm always there.
Yeah,
first one on the bus.
It's fun.
He reckoned that they were about to take off to the airport, and I've rocked up on a kid's bicycle. Do you remember that?
No, I can't.
Well, I can't remember.
I don't know where he's tossed that up from.
I don't know where he's got it from.
What's your best trigger story? He does listen to this, and he will be messaging me if we spray him too much.
It was actually when I wasn't actually playing. I was thinking I was at South. And he was coaching the Fogs Cup. And I remember it was at Wynnum. I just remember it. And I was like walking. It must have been half time for West. And obviously they must have been down and they were getting prepared for a trigger spray at half time.
Yeah.
And I remember just walking into the Wynnum sheds and all I heard was, fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck me! He just starts screaming. That's all he was saying. I just remember walking past going, classic trigger. Yeah, good stuff. Just giving the boys a spray at half time.
Oh, yeah.
He's good for
a spray. And I think, if you do a sort of a decent mistake in a game, you will often hear the Jesus or the fuck. And, you're just like, oh shit. You put your head down, you look up where it's come from.
He did one yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He did. One of the boys, I was Kyle and Clavering.
offload at the back, wasn't it?
No, he opens them up and with Javelin with our winger on the side there, and he tried to go in. I'm not sure what he was doing, but the trig call. Oh fuck!
And it goes in degrees of positional, right? As well, because if you make a mistake and you're a fucking winger, he's like, what the fuck is like he's got, there's a tiered fucking level of like it's going to get worse if like just that winger knocks on. He's like, what the fuck are they good for anyway?
It's good. It's good in the video session. Like it's good, but some players like he'll rip apart, especially if they need it though. Like, but he's good that he'll tell you what you're doing wrong, but then like he'll obviously tell you what you need to do. He's not afraid to tell you what you've done wrong, which is always a good thing. Sometimes you get some coaches who won't even tell you what you're doing wrong; they'll just drop you.
One of the boys from Mitchie, he's training with Wes, and he was training with the Reggies, and then he kept arguing about like the structure they were using, and it's the structure he gets from Bellamy, and he sent it to all of us in emails and that. He goes, I can't really see the point. What have I got to be there for in this? So Brownie tells Trigger. Later that night, Sam's on the phone to me and he goes, oh, hang on, Trigger's just messaged me. I laughed thinking, why the fuck would he be messaging you? And it was a spray message.
Yeah.
Hey, next time you want to fucking complain about my structures, I can think about it. I get them from Bellamy. All right, trust me. I've done this coaching thing for a while.
Trust
I know
me,
what
it
he's doing.
works.
And then he messaged us and he's like, oh, don't worry, I'll let Bellamy know what he needs to fix up. From it's Voorhees. Do you know Voorhees Butters? Have you ran into Voorhees?
Hooker.
He's hooker half.
Yeah. He's a good player, but blokes who think he's better than what he is. He probably has a talent to regularly be up there, but can't even handle the structures we play in ones. Have to go, no, we shouldn't do that. Or be setting up for something. You want to change the play halfway through it and then spray the fucker for whoever drops it. You go, it wasn't meant to come to me. I know, but I changed the play halfway through it.
But his off-the-cuff play is freakish. Like, I haven't seen many people like it, like that, but he's fucking can light it up.
Yeah.
But then when you really need him to just fucking...
Stick to structure.
Take a game.
Yeah, just control the game, wait for him to fucking drop the ball. Can't do that.
Yeah, I think the one thing with Trig is he's probably the best one, if not the best coach I've ever been coached by. I think, but the big thing for him is he can get anyone up for a game. Like that, I think that's his big quality.
Yeah.
Like he could pull a team from, let's say he's pulled a Div 2 team. He could get them up to compete. Like, he gets a team to compete, and I think that's his biggest qualities. He get the best out of any player, and I think that's his biggest quality with that.
When you hear about some of those boys that like he gets in touch with and gets there, like how the process of getting you there, Lmac, and shit like that, he never sort of shuts the door on too many things and stuff like that. And like he'll always come up and he'll, like if we're talking or something, he'll tell me something that Cherry told him about what they're doing at Manly or something like that, about the structure, or what Hasler has said and shit like that. And he knows how to relate to you, and he'll go to you, listen, I like talking to you, Roddy, because you get it. You you understand footy and things like that. So even if he thinks you don't, he has you believing that he's into you, and you enjoy talking to him about these things. He goes, some cunts, they just don't get it, mate. They don't understand it, or how you got to treat different people and that. And you feel, how good's that? And you feel good because he was a fucking player. He was captain coach at Deception Bay Open Threes once, fullback or half, I think he was, and goes on to be a cup coach and a Melbourne system sort of thing too.
Yeah, I've had some good time, a lot of good times on the Trigger. Because most of my Q Cup has been under Craig. A lot of those years were like at East and at Sunny Coast and that. But I've only ever played for a couple other coaches. It's been Paul Bramley and or
Costa.
Oh yeah, I only played a couple of games of him. But Trigger and obviously Sam Mooney now. But yeah, it was only been really basically those two coaches. But he was good.
It was Riley Jacks who said he makes you feel like he believes in you. He goes, because he'd just been told by Burley, we don't see you playing cup here anymore. It's time to go. And then he goes, mate, you come play with me at the Sunny Coast. You're one of the best halves in the comp, blah, blah. And Riley Jacks goes, at the time I wouldn't have been, but he made me believe I was to make me better. And I thought, yeah, fair enough too. Makes people believe in what they're doing and believe in the structures. And That's the thing. If people, you can be the best coach in the world, but if people don't believe in what you're doing, they might think you're a cock, and you can live with that. But if they don't believe in the style you're playing, then you're in massive trouble.
Yeah.
How many years you boys got left in this?
Well, I was going to play. This was going to be my last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously with this fucking stupid virus thing hitting us. But
Yeah.
because I just really, I got that milestone that I want to hit. Like I want to hit that 200 game mark. So I'm at 198 at the moment.
Oh shit.
So I've been sitting on that for the last couple of years, you know, because I in 2017, I probably would have.
We were supposed to line up. Both
Yeah,
out.
so we would have played our 200 game against each other.
Wow.
So that would have been awesome, but I went and did my ACL. So, but yeah, it was a tough comeback from that. But yeah, just the last couple of years, you know, and we had that really good side last year.
Yeah.
With Eric Smith was coaching us.
Yeah. One of the mates run the water for you is Benny McBride.
Yeah, Ben McBride. Yeah.
Ben-
And we had a really good year, and obviously, you know, come back from injury, you're not just going to walk straight back into a really good side. Like we were on top of the ladder, we hadn't lost any games and all that sort of stuff. And I only ended up playing 2 games that year. But this was going to be my last year. But now that all this has happened, and you know, I probably wouldn't rule it out. I suppose. What do you think?
Yeah, look,
because it would have been good to play with you this year.
I think that was a
Because
big
he was
key when
coming
up
up to
Sunny
the
Coast
Sunny
because
Coast.
obviously Lmac and Dane Hogues were up there, and you know, I was going up there with Luke Capewell as well. So, but I'm not sure. You know, I'm Papua New Guinea. I love
Well, is
competing.
Capewell up there as well?
Yeah,
He was
we
doing
were together.
pre-season with us,
Yeah, we
Ah.
were training together. But I'm not sure. You know,
So Brush Dip switch.
we might stay. Yeah. But you know, I might play next year. I might play the year after. I don't know. I'm Papua New Guinea. I love competing. I just love playing footy. Like I love it.
Yeah.
And it's, that's the hard thing. I don't know when I should give it away. I don't
That's
know.
it.
I just, you know, I enjoy it.
You look at
You know,
fucking
till
you look at Cameron Smith. It's like, what the fuck?
I guess till you get to that point where, you know, you probably feel you can't compete and you can't compete to a level that you want to. That's maybe it. But,
Yeah.
you know, I probably will play next year. I
Yeah.
don't know where yet, but yeah, I'll probably play next year.
Yeah, I've enjoyed playing footy with West.
Yeah.
Just the last 2 games, you know, just getting back into it and doing that sort of stuff.
But yeah, you got to get that 200 up though. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't
How many
really
you
sell
on,
one,
Butters?
mate.
208.
Yep.
208. And I think, you know, I guess people often ask, and you know, you could have chased the, you know, Queensland Cup record of Philly Dennis, but it could have done that. But
You'll never catch that.
but,
What's he on? About
500.
500.
He did the pre-season at Ipswich too, eh?
Yeah, he was going to go around again.
He was.
Yeah.
Well, he was 26. He was about 25, 26 when I was at South.
Yeah, I keep forgetting he was in that side then. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
And he'd played at East before and West.
Yeah,
He's
man.
been around.
He's
He
been
played right
around. He's been, and a good, and he was always like he was a good player, like back, and he's still a good player now. But obviously he's got more time now. He just sort of knows like where to put the ball and all that sort of stuff. And just like, you know, when you're older, you're a bit more smart.
When he was playing, when he was
good,
playing BRL last year, he'd just be Cliffy Lyon style.
Oh
Yeah,
no one touch
line.
him. No one touch him.
Yeah, just put blokes through like Jason Smith used to. Just take the line. Someone would be running off him.
Where's Todd Murphy? Is he up there again? Or?
So yeah, he's up. He was going to play this year, obviously.
Yeah.
He did play round 1, but obviously with all this stuff that's happened, I don't know what he'll do if he's going to run around again next year. But he was a pretty big part of our team. Obviously, he's just got a lot of experience in that. And he's been in a few NRL systems.
That Lewis, the back rower, who's at Melbourne.
Chris Lewis, he's a really good player too.
Yeah, he's going well.
He's been
Melbourne
there.
too.
He's been there at the Falcons since 2017, and it was good to see him get a start actually with Melbourne, because obviously he's toured hard and he was down at the Dragons for a long time, and he never really got to crack that first grade. But it's
He had a
to
good
see.
game Friday night, didn't he?
Yeah.
And same as the other fronty there, that Darren Schoenig.
Yeah.
Man, he's a weapon, eh?
And at the moment, Jax is injured, or have they put him aside again?
I'm not sure.
I think they just said he was left out of the side.
Yeah.
I don't know, like if they just didn't use him, but he was going well.
Because with Jackson, I've talked to Righty about this. I don't think he's ever got enough block of time to really settle in and show his stuff. I think he's always been in and out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, especially with having to when Cronk and all that were there. I think he needs that fucking 6 months to just settle in, and then he's going to be sweet. But
yeah, I think that was a big decision too when he obviously left for the Titans. Probably maybe the wrong one at the time. You know,
and they struggled.
Did he play much down there?
I don't think he did. Considering what he probably would have got at Melbourne if he stayed, which was, you know, probably it would be out of him and Brodie Croft.
Exactly.
So-
It's
weird, like, he wasn't-
Righty's getting it over Brady Croft.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like
He's
he
struggling.
went to the Titans there, and he wasn't playing much grade there. But you know,
You
he
got
goes, he goes
Melbourne.
back to Melbourne.
Melbourne snap you up that quick
Yeah.
and get in touch with you. Frank Panisi got in touch with him and said, "Mate, we might have a spot for you.
Mm.
We'll see how this goes." And they'll take you straight back to one of the top sides. But the blokes at the time that were coming last,
Mm.
they don't see you in the picture.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny that, and all blokes will go somewhere last, coming low on the ladder, and then go to a better system.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you go, "Fuck, I never saw that in this
Yeah.
bloke, and he's killing it."
Yeah.
Mm.
Or the reverse, you know, like you think blokes will take big money. When Adam Blair went to the Tigers after he was playing great at Melbourne, and it
then
just
Tigers
I think-
and
yeah,
then
and
he
you
came
often-
down.
yeah.
and then-
I mean, you see that, don't you? You often see that when a player leaves Melbourne Storm. Like it shows obviously how good their structure is.
yeah.
That when they lose, there's not too many that have kicked on
Brodie
outside,
Croft sort of like
outside of Melbourne.
your weaknesses aren't sort of exposed there because of what you got around
Yeah, because
you.
everyone else does their
That's
job.
it.
Like I think
Yeah.
that's the big thing is Melbourne that they all do their job for the team. So
And while at East, did any of you do a pre-season down there?
yeah.
Yeah. Did you go down?
Yeah, did one as well. Yeah, it was good.
And you did
Hard.
one?
I think I
Lmac?
lasted 3 days.
Was it fucked?
Yeah, look, it was tough. Yeah, it was tough. I guess the wrestling was the hardest thing. Like, I remember. I think the first wrestle session I pulled out. I think I was with. Kafusi was driving me everywhere, and had to tell him pull the car over because I just started spewing up the side of the highway. Like
Those Commando rolls.
it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life.
Mm.
Wrestling, like I wouldn't have thought wrestling was that hard, but Jesus.
I remember at a coaching thing I was at, one of the blokes talking was good mates with Madge Maguire, and he said when he was working with him at South, they'd do these wrestling sessions based on the Melbourne stuff. It'd be a fucking hour. Blokes would be in this room, blokes would crawl out of the room to spew, and then someone would just grab you and throw you back in. Like, it was just relentless. And, you know, like Melbourne would, when South won it that year and they just destroyed everyone for a year and a half, started off in a blaze of glory, then halfway through the next year just dropped off.
Yeah.
Like, can you maintain that all the time?
Intensity.
Some people can, some people can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think definitely the wrestling session is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life over there. Besides their camp.
Yeah, I didn't get through that far.
So what happened? Did they just drop you?
No, I did me groin. I went in there
Okay.
with the great Cody Walker, and we were down there, and I literally got 3 days in. I think I did me groin, and then I was getting physio, and I literally couldn't even run. That's how bad my groin was. And they're like, "Well, you might as well go home if you want." I was like, "Yeah, no dramas."
Yeah, I enjoyed it when I was down there because I ended up going down firstly with Jakey Foyud, and he did his groin pretty quick, 2 days. So, and we're staying right in the city. So I'm a single bloke too. So stayed there. He was there for 2 days, and then I had Foyce Penny come down, and again he might have stayed for a week. So within
just for shits and giggles.
so he went well actually, but in the rest the rest was hard for him. But within the 6 weeks I was there, I think I had 5 weeks by myself.
Yeah.
So I had this, studio apartment in the middle of the city, and I was single at the time. I was on Tinder, and birds coming over at the time. It was one of the best experiences of my life. Like, and Melbourne's just so much going on.
Yeah.
Like every night, you'd go down, have a beer, you'd meet someone, and oh wow, it was a good time for the 6 weeks I was down there.
And
What
did-
year did you go down?
Was it 2015
Yeah, right.
or 2014?
Did Foyce get fit down there?
Yeah, he come down fit.
Yeah.
Actually, he come down
Oh,
fit.
sweet.
He
yeah.
come down fit, but he left before the camp, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he left before the
Oh,
camp.
okay. Foyce is one of those boys you always want around your team, eh? Just fucking...
Remember him come through
Yeah.
Colts? Remember him come through Colts? Jeez, he was a freak. Just the
Mate,
offloads
he's
and
an
that.
unbelievable bloke. And again, yeah,
Good to see him still going around too. Like, he's good to play with.
yeah, yeah,
Because he's Foyce is my age, I think, and you guys, you 32, I'm 30. Foyce is
Yeah.
33, I think.
yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
we're old.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
fucking
we're
Righty's
getting on.
65.
I feel
Right,
65.
you're getting on yourself.
Yeah.
You're
I
getting on
felt
yourself.
65 after last week's game. Jeez, I was sore. Couldn't move.
I think I came to West because of Foycer
Yeah.
last year. So there'd get a point there. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and
Yeah.
we got on the piss at my place. Like we had a kick on. And we drank for a day and a half or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in that day and a half, we decided I was going to West, so I called
Yeah.
Trigger, and I think at that time I was plastered. And
Oh, really?
we made the deal. I was going to go to.
You
play
always
West
make
for
the
year.
best decisions when you're on the piss.
100%.
Yeah.
That's where you
Oh,
make all
fucking
your
oath.
deals, I think.
That's right.
We make great decisions.
Boys, we've been going fucking 77 minutes now.
It's unbelievable.
It's fucking crazy.
Flies by,
We
doesn't it?
usually talk a bit of NRL. I was thinking, right, we might not talk some NRL
So
tonight.
I think the winner's going to come from the top three. I can't see any of it. The top three sides. From what I'm seeing, South may push some sides, but on the advice of a man, we'll call him Craig, I put some money on Melbourne. I think Melbourne Roosters maybe. I don't know.
I'm a big South Sydney fan, so I think they're coming good. Look, I think South is probably the biggest threat out of every team in there.
They're the only other
obviously
side I can see. I don't think Para can.
Yeah, and I think they're their own worst enemies. And I think you've seen it versus Para. If they put it together, I think they probably pump most teams. And obviously the hard things with Latrell gone, but I put my money on South.
Their forwards
I'll
really
give them a
aimed
big
up.
chance. Yeah.
Their forwards are matched it, and then Big Tino scored off that.
Forward pass.
Yeah, that looked a little.
very
That's one
forward.
thing about this restart. With one ref, a lot more forward passes around the ruck seem to go.
I'm
like
sick of that
bloke.
6 again rule. That 6 again rule.
Fuck, mate.
They
You
just
just don't
blow
understand.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous.
Sometimes you don't know what's going on. They just blow it. You know.
And-
Oh man,
And the crusher, man. The crusher
Oh,
is like
it's-
some
it's
like
ridiculous.
Oh, fuck.
As soon as you grab your neck,
Yeah.
yes, you're gone.
I
That's
think,
it. Penalty.
especially when a lot of players will, when they hit the line, they turn. Like
Yeah.
if you turn your back, then
Yeah, they're backing in.
how's that?
Like, just
fair
say
enough,
if
crusher,
you've
but
got
that
around
can't
the
be a
ball
penalty.
and they turn to get down to that
Yeah.
ground and they just roll through that arm there, they're calling that shit a crusher.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. But yeah, the 6 again's too fucking.
Mate,
yeah.
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Have you noticed the good defensive sides like Melbourne, like the Roosters? Now, they just know when to give one away just because they're back in their D. And I'm going, yeah, why wouldn't you?
There's nothing worse than giving away a penalty at like your fourth or
Oh,
your
that
fourth,
goes
fifth,
down
you know
real
what I mean?
well.
Fuck, it's a pain in the ass.
And Cameron Smith just gets away throwing forward passes now as well.
Oh, yeah, and to that big Tino, he don't need too much invitation to score a try the way he was
the
running.
way he's going this
He
year.
played with us.
Yeah, he did.
At the Falcons there.
He was, yeah, I remember watching him in that prelim when he's lost to Burley last year.
Mm.
That was so bizarre. I thought they were odds. I thought you were odds on to at least make the GF,
Mm.
and then Burley they knew you had a peak at the right time. That fucking it was like a fucking 40-knot wind blowing
Yeah.
at one stage,
No, they played well.
and Shandor was copping it from the Canberra where
Was
I was
he?
standing.
Oh, yeah.
Then, right, he was on that wing, and he was playing all right, but he just get hacked on. And then when you're getting beat, you can always hear all the insults when you're getting beat.
It gets worse.
When you're winning, you're thinking, I don't give a fuck, we're winning. But I think Cooper John's copped a little bit too,
Yeah.
having a name, everyone over that side, and Burley led from start to finish, and you was expecting the Sunny Case to come back, but it just never really happened.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking of when boys say like to you two like what's your club, right? Like would you say you use the East Boys or
Oh, this is big.
is it like kind of what you finish up at? Or?
Yeah, look, I don't know. Yeah, I guess people. I guess I'm East. I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't know, but at the end, I think. Yeah, I've played at East, but I'm a Redcliffe boy. Like everyone will know.
So
I'm a
when you
man.
finish playing, you'll go down to Dolphin Over with your young
Well, yeah, my
fellas.
young fella
Have-
plays there now, and that's
Yeah.
that's me.
Yeah,
Right.
you sit in the grandstand having a few having a few cans. And,
It'd be
it's
more than a few.
and then go into the leaguesy afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a few good. There's a lot of good nights in the leaguesy when you could do that. Yeah, really good times.
How long were we at East? I mean, you. I was there for about four or 5 years, but I've been
Yeah.
at Sunshine Coast for about 4 or 5
Yeah,
years.
true.
now, so.
Did Trig get you to go with him up there, Elmac? Did he?
No, he threw me a lifeline, I think.
Yeah,
I
no.
was I sort of
The old league.
Hogs was going up. Hogs was going up to Sunny Coast, and I sort of gave it away mid-year at East. I just sort of pulled out, and just towards the end of the year, he's like, "Oh, why don't you come up to the coast, mate? Like, this is Hogs," and he's like, "Come up to the coast, mate. We'll go up there. Trigger's up there." And on the piss, me and Hogs just having beers, and then we ended up texting Trigger, and I said, "I'm coming up, mate. What can you do?" And he's just, "Yeah, sweet. Love to have you."
Because
up
word
there,
got
mate."
word got through. It was kind of like you were one of their biggest signings when it happened.
Yeah.
It would have been a key sign. He's a key sign for any club. We rolled out the red carpet for him to come down to West.
So you should.
when I saw the team list, and you played your first game, and you got there that Friday, and I go, And I said to a couple of the boys that got sent back to us, how long's Lmac been playing for?
And did you have to
train last
did you
night?
apologise to the guys that you just booted out the side when you come in?
I don't think did I move anyone all right or.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, you were chasing.
they-
you said
they- they're
hang
not
on
a fan of
second.
you, mate.
You
They're not a fan
say
of
you
you.
said you were chasing fronties, so I've come down.
Trig never mentioned the fronties he had. He was chasing fronties.
No, well, I'm grateful like to come down and obviously play with me mates, and I love that sort of stuff. But yeah, sorry lads. If I
and having that connection from the old days makes it easier just to waltz in, and you don't seem the real shy bloke who'd have trouble making friends. So yeah,
it's all right.
So,
I actually remember the song, singing it yesterday. Because I was like, "Fuck, what are the words of this song?" And then you see it and you think, "Oh, hang on, I do remember this." And from all those years ago, But,
and I think the big thing about West too, and obviously he'll find out, is it's a good culture.
yeah,
It's a good old school culture.
Yeah.
Like just getting on the piss. I've got a little one now, so I don't get on the piss as much. But most games you'd go. Well, nearly every home game we get back in the club, and
and you can bring your kids.
Jack
up.
Walters loves it.
we just get pretty loose in there. You have a good time, and Fatsy's a really good president. And they do a great job at West. Like, West Mitchie is really
You can
a
have
great
your
place.
family. You can tell
100%.
your mate's in his singlet and a pair of thongs, and you go, "Come for a beer. I'm dressed like this.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. Come upstairs.
We had
She'll be good
We had
champion."
Fats and Jones on last week.
Oh, did ya? Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for Fats to give me a good deal. I might come down and just play for West Mitchie for another 5 years.
Yeah, we'll
I
keep
might
in
Sign me up, captain coach or something. But
Yeah,
good
no.
deal.
Yeah, no, we need. Yeah, fuck.
We
Just
could use
come
it.
down to open ones, mate.
Yeah, we could use it. You're going around again.
Oh, yeah.
Freddie, were you training with
I
these boys
I was training with him.
until your finger or
No, I was just training with them. So Triggs just asked me to train just in case they got into a situation where Butters, because he was having the new one, and they were around that pivot position, and if they needed me to just sit on the bench, just to cover.
Yeah, right.
And so he knew that it was either going to be if he needed me there, but otherwise I was just going to be playing open ones. I wasn't doing the whole prems or anything.
So you're saying that he did to Butters what Lmac did to these front rowers when Triggs, he just never mentioned.
Well, yeah.
Oh, by the way, I need you.
Yeah, I just don't think we knew that. Like it was didn't know how long Butters would have to take away, and I think that honestly I'm better suited to a team at a fullback position, but the style of hooker I play is kind of. I like to jump. My service isn't like Walters and Butters, but I do like to jump and get out and get behind those markers and stuff, and like that kind of stuff in 10 minutes within a game or something can add something. So I was just, and I really like training with the boys because it took me back to the speed that I was like, you remember training at, and I'm like, fuck, this is sweet. And then I go back to open ones and I try to, you just go back to my mates at open ones and you try to fucking pick them up with that speed that you're training with up there. But I fucking froth today, especially when we do the I love those what they call it. It's like a Shark Tank thing, but it's like we play set after set after set in that 30.
Oh yeah, the training drill. Yeah.
And then the teams swap in and out.
Yeah.
that kind of shit gets my dick hard like that. I love that style and just that upbeat training. It's fucking. I didn't really realize how much I missed it until doing the boys. So like going on to next season, I might even do the preseason again. Like I didn't do a full preseason at all. I did after Christmas and trained with them. But
it's always hard the preseason. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh god, it's a nightmare.
I think you get to
day
age,
one
I think
preseason.
you get to this age where you just can get through. You just go do the back end of the preseason.
How about Hogs this year at Falcons?
Oh, he's one of the best.
He's one of the best. He had some sort of foot injury, he reckons. He didn't do pretty much any of the preseason.
Nothing.
He's just always in the gym, Bang, round one playing.
You get away when you're skipper. When you're skipper, you can do that.
Oh, that's all we need to get down to. We need to get him down to West.
Oh,
Get
who
him in the red
knows?
and black jersey,
Who knows?
But yeah, boys, we appreciate you coming on. We
it's
we
been
we
good.
might have to do another podcast later this week just to talk a bit of NRL. But
There's not much happening.
Yeah.
I watched it today. Oh, I did watch that game today with the Warriors. Those poor fuckers get shafted every week. Not saying they should have won, but fuck, they get
They were
some
close
dud
though
calls.
today, weren't they?
They were.
6 points, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And they were down 14-0 or something, 16-0, and they come back. It's good to see them doing all right considering what they're sacrificing. What do you think of that? How would it be if they had to stay in Australia next year?
Isn't that going to be interesting next year? I was talking to one of the guys up at Redcliffe, obviously, because they've got the deal there next year.
Yeah, Reddy are their reserve
Reddy's
grade.
their reserve grade. So I guess they were talking about, they were asking, look, how like one of their key questions was, next year with the Warriors, that they're probably going to have, 10, 11, 12 Warriors reserve guys coming through because that's their number one reserve side. So they're going to have quite an influx of that. And they're also saying that, so how they're going to manage that with keeping players and, keep managing your team there versus new players coming in, keeping everyone happy, which is hard at times. And then saying that if there is Corona next year, more than likely the Warriors are going to be based at Redcliffe.
Yeah.
They're going to play their games out of Dolphin Stadium.
Cool.
Which is interesting.
How
Yeah,
would that be?
which would be good.
How
So
would-
they got getting their I've seen a few designs for their shirts and stuff with the Warriors logo. It looks
Yeah.
pretty good. So
Nice.
yeah, it'll be interesting.
How would it be that for blokes like Cameron Cullen and that playing in, like one foot in the door in a system? Like when Shane Perry played for the Bronx that
Yeah.
time and it was almost last man standing at half, wins a comp, and you can say how many comps you won, like because he had a bit of experience in the system. They thought we'll give him a go, and look what happened.
He's got that premiership, bro.
Yeah.
Oh mate, one of the greats. Like, people talk about we call it his nickname's Fridgy, but yeah, Shane Perry is one of the great players. I know that they did this, the voting on the Q Cup thing, but two players was Shane Perry probably should have been the half of 5'8" of the decade or the 25 years.
He would have won a couple of premierships.
Oh,
up
no,
there,
at
wouldn't
Reddy, mate. That Reddy side, it was amazing. Like from 2000 or whatever, they won 4 or 5 premierships. They lost 2 or whatever.
he? Yeah, when he came back from
that-
Canterbury, he was they were flying. They always had success.
Yeah.
And he was a big part of why Broncos won that year too. Like he did his part, which was take pressure off Lockyer.
Perfect.
And that was his
foil.
job.
Exactly.
That's all he
That's
needed
it,
to do.
yeah.
And but people, it's Shane Perry. Like, what did he do? He won a premiership. Like, he walks around premiership ring. Yeah, bloody, he's a legend.
And
Like,
he moved Hodges to fullback, who was slaying it.
Yeah.
And so they had the spine, and
And it was-
Berrigan was playing real well at hooker.
It was that the
Yeah.
same year that Mickey Roberts helped him out a tiny bit as
Year
well?
after.
Oh,
year
year
after.
after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And same as Mickey Roberts. I think a big thing when that Q Cup voting. Mickey Roberts, the best Q Cup hooker in the last 25 years too. I don't know how that
Who did
works.
they-
Hang on, Tommy, you were pretty good yourself.
Who in,
I
who
don't
did
know
they-
how that votes, but if you look at it by
Yeah.
statistics and knowing Queensland Cup footy,
Yeah.
those two players are probably two of the best players
Yeah,
there.
longevity and success. You couldn't really go past.
Do
it.
you feel with you two especially, fucking with the amount of games you played, the amount of NRL players you played against, right? One's dropping back, coming back up. Do you see that and go, I know that just with the right time, right chance, I could be playing that level? Or do you see why you're not playing that level, like through some of the players that you play against?
Yeah, look, I'm I get asked that. I'm not sure. I just maybe didn't have the right manager, but I guess the big thing for me was I wish I had the chance to get that opportunity. I never had the chance to just be signed in the top 30 or whatever. I thought I wish I had the chance, but I believe I could have done it. I guess I matched up with guys that made it there, but as I said, at the end of the day, my ultimate goal and what I dreamed of was playing for Papua New Guinea, and I did that.
achieve
So
that.
for me, that's my ultimate thing. So whether I played the NRL or not, I played a few some good games in the Queensland Cup, and it would have been great if I won a few premierships, but
That's why you play. You for the ultimate
But,
is to win a competition though.
Yeah,
Like you know
yeah.
what I mean? That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, those couple of times that the NRL thing wasn't really like I found Queensland Cup was like a pretty good place to get to.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I
that
mean?
was my goal.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. Like and some people, they strive for more, and some people just they don't. You know what I mean? I really just getting to Queensland Cup as a young age. I like that level of competition. You know what I mean? If you could go back and say, you could have done this different, done that differently, but I was quite comfortable playing Queensland Cup, and I enjoyed playing Queensland Cup. But just same as you. I wish we bloody won a few more comps.
the
together,
comps would have been great. The comps would have been really good actually.
Was there anyone you played with or against that you were surprised they never got a gig, like got even into a top 30?
I think the one player that probably comes to mind would have been Matt Grajewski. I think. I don't think he probably did get the chance, but he chose not to. But mate, he was, for the size of him, the skill, the conditioning, like he was just an ultimate footballer. I thought he was a guy that could easily play NRL and could have easily played, 200 games, 100, 200 games. The style and
not Brett
physique.
Esky or
Brett. No, I think Brett. If we mentioned Brett's a bit of a pisshead, so I think he's calmed down now. But I remember one time we went down to Melbourne Priest and we played Melbourne down there, and we all got on the Terps, and he had to make the bus to play the next week, first round, and Fridgie. So Esky's brother Fritchie was late for the bus, missed the bus, I think. So we left him there, and Esky's there crying. We can't leave him. He's my brother. We're like, we can't leave him. What are we doing? And then the flicker in his head was like, well, obviously now I'm going to play Q Cup next week. So he's, who cares? Leave him there. Yes, I'm back next week, boys. But one of the ultimate guys, I think Esky is. He's one of the loosest humans with this bloke too. Actually, if we mentioned it, he is.
And you would have ultimate parties together, yeah? You would have.
Jesus. We had some good times.
Esky, I played last year with him again in a Nines tournament with Critters South, the Dragons, the uni side.
Oh yeah.
So Esky he's still keeping himself fit and stuff, and he's fun. I find him one of the funniest humans ever. His chat, just like a classic. Yeah,
he's one of those guys. You're more than happy just sit and have a beer with him.
100%.
He's just so lovely, and he's just got a great personality about him.
Yeah. Because, he was like the Lmac of our Colts team. Because when you were a bit quieter, Esky was he was the one taking the reins.
He was out there.
Fuck, Roddy, you want to break this bitch down so these guys can go have a nap?
Yes, I'm so fucking tired.
all the energy's gone out of Lmac's body, eh?
Sorry, mate.
No, it's all good.
Fuck.
We appreciate you coming on, eh?
Mate, it was good fun.
Thanks heaps to the boys for coming on. Really livened it up. Thanks for Freddie for doing some research on the game and actually knowing something about the game and the people that are coming on the show this week. You've been outstanding as our producer once more. COVID in the world. Everyone, be careful. Let's not end up in the same fucking situation as Melbourne. If you're in doubt to have a good time, go for a drink somewhere. All these poor struggling places, they need us drinking piss and having a feed. I was at the RSL last night having a feed and a beer, and by 9:30 it looked like it was 5 minutes off shutting. Even go to the Ferny Grove Tav if you want to have a drink. That poor dead joint really needs help. All right. If you're not doing anything on a Saturday evening, the West Mitchelton Rugby League Club, plenty of good specials, $5 beers, $5 Jimmy cans. Get down there, you'll enjoy it.
Are we playing in front of them?
No, not this week. We think we're standalone game. So 3 o'clock kickoff
That
at
should be a
Franklin
huge crowd.
Oval. Who do you know? Do you boys know who you've got this week?
I think
That's
the boys
Valleys,
playing
I think.
Valleys at Valleys. It's a big game. Big
Oh,
game.
massive game.
Huge
Yeah,
game.
top side.
Yeah.
So they'll be back, and Trig will be playing down the boys' chances all week in the underdog stats. She's got it
We
last
are
time.
underdogs for the year. I think definitely biggest underdogs. I think Valleys obviously big side. Probably the
Half a
premiership.
cup side.
Definitely.
Nixon Putt playing second row.
Yeah, freak player. I think that definitely Valleys are the team to beat. They got all the players there. I'm not sure how they fit them in there, but they've got them all in there.
Yeah.
Right. Fair enough. So if you can get to Emerson Park at Stafford or get down to West Mitchie, watch a game of footy. We appreciate everyone's support. Show your support for the local clubs and all the people donating their time. Thanks again to the boys. Thanks for Freedy.
Except for that cunt on Saturday.
Yeah, this lady at Waterford really didn't like me and Freedy. She obviously could tell you were peptided up to the max, fuckhead. And considering you were wearing some kid who was 15 shirt, they really noticed you. Good luck to Dano. He's going to sort some family drama out tonight. Have some sort of stoush with his stepdad or his mum's boyfriend or something. Hope it turned out well for you, brother. Hope you sorted that out. Love ya. And Dana will be back. We'll be back next week. And thanks for listening. Thanks to the people who are watching. And always remember, stay loyal. Don't be a mercenary.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks, mate.